So let's take a look at it from this perspective. I'm going to look at wealth movement as an ecosystem. I have quite a background in nature, the outdoors, activities, research, studies, degrees, all of that. And a word like ecosystem has a lot of meaning for me, like ecological system, about how do trees and forests interact with one another, the ecology of those forests and trees and the systems that go with that in terms of like the crown, the trunk, the roots, what are the systems that are there. But by extension and almost metaphorically, you could take it over and look at ecosystem in general. Now, what I wanted to do is bring forward is this ecosystem, wealth movement as an ecosystem, is to think about it is that it frames up this interconnected community of persons who are being for the world and with the planet. Now, the idea here is persons getting together because of interests, coming together because of situations in their lives, coming together because they want to share legacy and they're looking for some assistance. And what they're doing is that they're being for the world. In other words, something that they're doing or that their interest is for humanity, for the built environment. And then there are others who are looking at what does it mean to be with the planet and thinking about nature informed, nature aware solutions, nature based solutions, words like that, green initiatives, and they're looking for assistance maybe from a legacy project as well. So wealth movement is now leaning into an ecosystem of what it means to bring persons together in community and being for the world and with the planet. Sometimes they cross over, so I'm going to acknowledge an and there between them. Now, it's about these interactions for those persons and the flow of energy that takes place. Now, in this notion of energy, there are things that we do, social, cultural, technological, environmental, economical, political. There are these kind of categories, and there's energy that are flowing in that, what I call the steep approach to living one's life, the steep approach to community, and talking about what matters in that system. So, this notion of being able to get together persons and communities to be able to figure out what they can do together to be for the world with the planet is what I'm after. And as I unfold this a little bit more with you, is that what we're looking at is how do we balance off the connections that people have in these communities? Because one of the things for social good to make the world better, the planet better, is to be able to balance of this interactions that take place in the communities between persons and together with persons. I understand that, for social good, the communities, these legacy projects that you might bring to the foreground is really about small groups of persons doing something. And all of these different kinds of small groups, these communities interacting, will bring forward this notion of social good. And that's what I'm really interested in. How can I do that? In particular, with those who are aging, agers, and in particular, solo agers. Now, these communities that would get created in this ecosystem is for reasons of stability and supporting those interactions. If I can bring that forward as a way in which to help you out or your friends or the combination to provide some kind of stability, something to come and stand on as you're doing what you're doing, and to support the interactions that you're having through some of the ideas that I'll share with you here, then I'm doing something that's of value. It's going to improve focus and strengthen not only your lives, my life, but also what it means to be for the world and with the planet. Now, the other thing that I'd like to bring forward is to be able to do this all without wasting the wise use of time after money. And I have found along the way, even in my own life, how I've wasted my time, my effort, and my money doing things that really didn't do any social good. They may have flattered my ego, but they didn't necessarily bring forward something of social good. Now, I'm not saying, there are those times in our youth when, going out and doing something and having fun with it may not lead to social good. I get that. I understand that. And I guess now, as I'm a solo ager, I'm finding that I don't want to waste my time, effort, and money. And I don't know about you. I leave that with you as you ponder that question as well. So, this notion of not wasting time, effort, and money, then what will it bring? And it's this notion of clarity and confidence through commitment and understanding our consequences. Now, there's something that's important here that I just want to bring forward, and it's to bring this notion of confidence to the foreground. I mentioned that already, but to really bring it to the foreground. And confidence in this way is about our assuredness, a self-assertiveness, is to really come to understand who am I and what I be, have, and do. And to be able to do that is to believe in what are my capabilities? What am I ready, willing, and able to bring forward? What is my capacity to give and gift? What is it that's there? So that I can sort of come to truly understand character skills and character elements of my life, like relevance. How do I remain relevant? Resilience. How do I engage in activities that I might find are a bit of a challenge, but yet I don't fall into dysfunction as I work through those challenges to get to the other side in a place that's probably better than when I went in. And how do I benefit with reciprocity? Is that if I give and gift, what is it that's happening? There's elements of my younger years, I'll just use a personal story here, that there was some person said to me is that you tend to take more than you give. And I had to scratch my head and attempt to figure out what that meant. And then I started to realize is that in my life as a solo ager, when I was invited for meals, I sometimes didn't always reciprocate by taking them out to meals or inviting them over to my home, because I got caught in this notion of, well, from a solo aging, my home isn't the same as their home. There is a different sense of it. Yet I could still have invited them over and cooked them a meal, but I wasn't thinking of it that way. I wasn't feeling that. And so some of my friends over the years have said, you tended to do a bit more taking than giving. And I guess that's really started to come home now to roost as I'm thinking about this notion of my legacy story. Where am I going with that?